welcome back to the Warframe Beginner's Guide to the Galaxy. Today we are going to be diving back into getting our Archwing. In fact, that's actually done, and I found the most efficient Oxium farm for new players. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that today. We're also going to go ahead and work on the new Strange questline and potentially finish our Junction into Jupiter. I'm not sure the order of those. So here's our Archwing launcher. It is done. We already had to build the segment in order to be able to build this. I did that yesterday. And now I'm going to go to CETUS, which is the place. CETUS and Fortuna both have opportunities for you to be able to farm Oxium relatively quickly. I chose CETUS, though, for a couple different reasons. Primarily just because the enemies on CETUS are a little bit easier because they don't have shields and armor, which is something that might provide complications for a new player in Venus. So we're going to go to CETUS now. It is currently night, so we're not really going to be able to see things that will represent what we were trying to do, because you don't want to go there at night as a new player. The stuff that happens at night is for people that are further on in the story, so if you've reached far enough in the story that you have access to, we'll call this spoiler mode, you'll know what it is if you've gotten there. That's what night's for. For a new player, day is all that matters. I'm going to go ahead and fast travel over to Kanzu. We might get lucky, he might actually have the mission. Okay. So if we go to bounties for Kanzu, search and rescue here currently has a reward of cryotics. There is a rotation that happens every time day comes to CETUS. These missions will swap, so in 34 minutes, which is when night ends, this is going to swap. Now what you're looking for is this reward tier right here. So I've gone ahead and put it up on the screen for you. So the reward tier we're looking at, that's the same mission, just a different reward tier. You'll notice that Oxium is on the top there. 200 Oxium. So the catch here is if we take this mission and we only try to do the very first part of it, then we can end up with things like this. Rewards where after 3 minutes we come away with 200 Oxium. There is a trick to doing that, and I'm going to show you guys that right now, and then I'll show you guys the Archwing launcher and why we want it. So we're going to go ahead and close that off. I'm going to grab this bounty. I am going to take this search and rescue. Now, the important thing here is that we want to go in alone when we're doing the Oxium farm, and there's a reason for that. It's because we don't have any intention to actually complete the mission. So we don't want to hold other people back when we're kind of doing things like this where we're speed running missions. I'm going to go to the gear wheel and also put our Archwing launcher on so I can show you that when we need to head back. I am not sure, but I think my power just like flashed out for a second, so that could be really good. Anyways, so we now have this mission. Or we should. I think since we switched over to solo mode, it actually didn't accept the mission. I'm going to go ahead and go back to bounties here and pick it back up again. There we go. Okay, so I've got the Archwing launcher, but I'm not going to be using that because I'm trying to show you guys the best way to farm this Oxium. So what we're going to do is we're going to head straight out to this gate. And this is the important part here. There are a couple different ways that these bounties can start off, and we're looking for one specific start. So we're just going to stand right here and wait. Okay. What's our first objective? Nope. Nope. You get locate the drone, you go back in. This may seem sort of counterintuitive, folks, but the bottom line is that Oxium is rewarded at a 25% rate from the very first stage of this bounty. It goes down to a 15% rate at stage B, so the fastest way to farm it is actually to only do stage A, and to make that even faster, we only want to do certain stage A's. There's only really one stage A that we want to do because that's the one you can complete in like 3 minutes. If we'd done that drone defense, especially alone, there's a very real chance we wouldn't have been able to successfully defend the drone, and the other thing about it is it would have taken us at least like 5, 6, 7 minutes probably. In this instance, we are giving up a little bit time going back and forth. However, the success rate is higher and the speed is generally higher. It's still not quite 3 minutes, you're more looking at like 7 to get it, but it really just depends on your luck. We don't want that. So liberate the camp, we would kill all the enemies, and then we would have to defend the camp from enemies and try to maintain a certain percentage of defense on the camp, and that's very, very difficult, especially solo, so we don't really want that. Once again, the reason we're doing this solo is so that we can just do the first part of the mission and not have to feel bad about bouncing out on the rest and leaving our team high and dry. Okay, so we'll take it again. Man, we're just not getting the luck here this time. That being said, the whole thing, to get the last 600 Oxium I needed, it probably took me about 30 minutes. So it's really not that much of a time sink to get that. And that's the fastest mode, or fastest method I've found, because the only other way to do it is the Tier C rewards of Sabotage in a certain area we have not unlocked yet, because it comes after the new Strange. Or we can fight... There we go, that's the one we want. We want the capture target. You get that one, you go for it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to buzz straight out here to this capture target, and we're going to capture it, and then we're going to leave. As simple as that. Now this is potentially going to be a little bit tougher because it is nighttime, which means we're going to deal with some enemies that you won't be dealing with in the daytime. Hopefully they won't actually have much impact here. I'm also not using my highest level gear. The last time I did this, when I showed you guys the mission rewards from that, I brought out Volt with all of my high level weapons because I wanted to make this as smooth and quick as possible. So we'll see how this goes with RHINO and the Heck. The Heck does bring a lot less damage than our Bolter does at this point. But RHINO's level 20 now, and we've also got the Heat Sword with us, which is pretty decent, so we should be able to bring this guy down pretty quickly. Also, when you get the capture target mission, if you can just take the capture target down without killing anybody else, you'll actually gain bonus reputation with Onko. It's not with Onko, it's with the Austrian, which is the faction of CETUS. So that's another great thing you can get out of this. You can kind of farm faction rep while you do this. In fact, our faction rep is capped out. The only thing we need is some resources called Thistle Prods in order to rank up our faction. You'll see that when I get back to town. Okay, so we're just going to buzz around. There's our capture target right there. So all we want is this guy. We're going to put on Iron Skin, and we're just going to light him up. Yeah, we're not getting much damage out of the Heck here, so I'm going to go with the Heat Sword instead, see if we can kind of just wear him down pretty quickly. Not going to fight anything else. Don't care about anything else at all. Going to cap him right here, and we should get our bonus, if we don't die. Aw, darn it. It looks like our Helios, or not our Helios, but, ouch. Ouch. Our little drone guy killed someone, so we didn't get the bonus there. Normally, you'll bring him down a little bit faster than that, and if you're lucky, he'll run out away from everyone else, which is usually what happens, but in this case, that didn't happen. We don't really care about getting down. We're going to hop back onto our board, and we are not going to go to the next part of the quest. We're just going to go back and head straight back to town. And in this instance, what we're looking for is Cryotics, and we might not get it. It's a 25% chance, but like I said, it took about 30 minutes of doing this to get 600 Oxium, which is, you know, a considerable amount. As I was saying, the only other way to get Oxium is from the Grenier C-Lab tile set, which we don't have access to yet, because that comes after the new Strange, which we'll be working on today. And the other method is to kill the Oxium Ospreys, which are only in Corpus missions, and they're suicide drones, so they try to charge you and explode. If you kill them before they do, then you get 8 Oxium. You need 1,200 Oxium to build the Archwing launcher segment. You can do the math about how many Oxium Osprey you would have to kill in order to get that. It's insane. So this is going to be your fastest method, period. It's really weird to me that I didn't notice the Oxium was a problem on my other account, but I think the reason why is because on my other account, even when I just had the K drive, I would come to CETUS every day and I would do the low-level bounties to farm rep because I wanted to cap out my rep with them. And in doing so, I think I just picked up a lot of Oxium. Because the Oxium does come from the 2 lowest tier bounties, so if you are just farming your rep, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get Oxium. Okay, so we got a 2,500 credit cache. I forget it shows you when you complete it, so you'll know if you got it. Taxon ruined our extra rep there, but that's all it takes right there, folks. I mean, how long did that take us? 3 minutes. If you factor in another minute for the 2 times we tried and didn't get the capture mission, it's about 5 minutes. So that's not bad at all. And if I go over here and I look at our Austrian standing now, you can see we're capped out. I just need to get some more... It's Nisselpods. I thought it was Thistlepods. Nisselpods, Iridite, and Groctral to level that up. I had the Iridite and Groctral, but we used that on the Archwing launcher, which I didn't show you guys. So let me go ahead and show you guys why the Archwing launcher is so vital here. We'll just take this one again. It doesn't really matter which one we get. If we get the capture one, it'll be nice because we'll be able to do it a little bit faster. This is also a good way to farm Cryotics, although Cryotics also come from excavation missions, so honestly getting a group and doing excavation missions is probably going to be a lot faster for loading out your Cryotics. That being said, there are quite a few resources that can be farmed in the bounties like this. The trick is just understanding the reward tiers, and if you don't, you should definitely go check out the wiki. There's our Archwing launcher. Now just look at the difference in time that it takes to get here with our Archwing launcher. Like, yeah, we're here already. We're here already. We can find our target. He's right there. We're going to go down to the ground and then just take him out. Iron skin so they can't kill us while we cap him. Grab him. And I guarantee you that when we're done here, the time is going to be so much lower than it was last time. Arcwing launcher again, and away we go. Cryotic 200 right there. That could have been Oxium, guys. That could have been Oxium. That fast. We head back in here, and I'm guaranteeing we probably shaved off at least a minute. Which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're doing the full bounty and you're going all over the map, it shaves off about like 5 minutes in travel time. Look at that, 55 seconds, guys. We shaved 2 minutes off having the Arcwing launcher. So you can see why I don't really recommend doing the bounties until you get your Arcwing launcher. You can't, excuse me, you can do them with the K-Drive, but the K-Drive isn't going to be nearly as efficient. And now that we have the Arcwing launcher, we can do these open world zones and farm the really cool mods and things they have available in them. And they do have some very, very cool mods. Like, if we come look at the bounties that are available from Kanzu right now, I think there's one in particular that I really want. Hunter Adrenaline. So this one is huge, guys. This only happens during the Ghoul event, which is running right now, so you want this. Convert 45% of damage on health to energy. This is a great way to basically keep your energy up on any frame in your arsenal. So you really, really want to grab that. It's one that I use almost all the time. Hunter Munitions is also somewhat useful. They're part of a Hunter set of mods, which can be useful, but I don't really use the Hunter set that much. I mainly just use Hunter Adrenaline. You can also get Hunter Track down here. This is actually good, plus 30% status duration. If you're going for very, very high-end missions, that'll be helpful. But on most enemies, they'll die before the status duration matters, so that's something to consider as well. But I mean, if you just go looking through here, you can see some of these rewards. Well, there's Revenant pieces, that's great. There's Axii relics, which you can get really cool Prime stuff out of, like Nova Prime parts. Trinity Prime parts right now. Swooping Falcon is a sword stance I don't have. I'd love to have that. We go back to this next one here. We've got... Oh, wait, that's the Ghoul one. My bad. This is the one I was looking for. So we've got Gladiator's Resolve, which is an additional health mod. You may not really want to use that one that much, but it's not bad if you're just trying to stack health. Like, it's really good on Inaros, for example. Vigilante Vigor, 60% shield recharge. Pretty good. Augur Secrets. This one is amazing. Plus 24% ability strength. I want you to keep in mind that other than your base mods, like your flows and your streamlines and your intensifies, finding ability strength, ability efficiency, ability duration, all that stuff is very difficult. It's at a premium. Usually you can only find those in corrupted mods, which you may not have access to yet. But here you can get Augur Secrets by running this mission, and now you can stack even more ability strength. And that really goes to building out your frames. That would be actually that Augur Secrets would be great on our Volt frame if we were doing like a damage build. We could just stack that along with a maxed out Intensify and get a ton of damage just out of our one. So then other ones we can look at here real quick. That's also Augur Secrets. Vigilante Armaments is one that people like a lot because it's multi-shot. Multi-shot, as we already talked about, is a great stat to have. This is one of the only multi-shot mods you'll find in addition to your Hell's Chamber or your Split Chamber, so just a really, really great mod to pick up. And this is in the common drops for this mission, guys. This is why these bounties are so powerful and why it's beneficial to get your Arcwing launcher as soon as you can so that you can kind of spam your way through these. You can get Gara chassis blueprints, all sorts of good stuff. Mind you, that is just on CETUS. There's also missions like this on Fortuna, although the ones on Fortuna, the mods are typically more focused on your companions, like your pets and things. So that's something to keep in mind. That being said, there are some mods over there that are absolutely integral to your endgame setup, so you may want to check those out as well. Okay, with all that done, what we're going to do next is we're going to jump over here to Ceres, and we're going to finish our Junction to Jupiter. Now, I could go in with RHINO here, but I think we're probably going to be better off switching over to Volt. The other reason I'm switching over to Volt is because while you may be following the series, you may not have farmed RHINO. That's totally understandable, I get that. We're also not going to take a leveling weapon into a Junction because that's silly. We can swap over to, I think I'll go with Skana's here, or the Skana, and we'll just run through that real quick. This should not take long to get through this Junction. I want to take a look real quick, guys, at our Volt setup, though, because I want you to imagine, if you will, what we could do if we had that additional ability strength. Like, right now, our ability strength is 105. That's because our Intensify isn't capped out. If we had capped this out, it would be, I think, 50%, I want to say. Let's see. I can't afford to cap it right now, but I also have another mission to show you guys for how you'll get your early money. So it would have been 130%. With the other 24%, that means that Augur Secrets almost adds as much as the base ability strength mod, which is the one that's meant to get you through the game. So if you think about that, it's almost like doubling the available ability strength. It's very, very powerful. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. And once we do this, I'm actually gonna show you guys, I forgot I wanted to show you this. I'm gonna show you the mission on series that you're gonna use to make your credits early on in the game before you unlock access to the index. The index is something we'll get into later for sure. Okay, so we're gonna jump into our Jupiter Junction, we're gonna get this done, and once we finish this, I will show you guys how to farm your credits early on once you have access to series. Right on, let's do this. Oh, will you? You'll purge our weakness from your rail, huh, buddy? Who are you? Oh, whoever you are, you have Fury, I think. That's Valkyr. Valkyr, okay, so she's dangerous in melee. We don't really want to close distance with her if we can avoid it. As usual, we're going to use our wall here to kind of give... Okay, she's not taking damage anymore. She's damage immune for the moment, so I'm going to give her some space. Alright, we are really not hurting her that much. This is tougher than I expected. Wow, we're really not hurting her that much. I'm gonna put my wall back up and just keep on safely shooting from behind it. How is she so tough? It's all that armor that she has. We're not really getting through that armor. We may need to change our loadout here. Which is actually kind of cool in a way. Oh, okay. I don't know what we're being affected by. Did she just boost our damage? I think she just unintentionally boosted our damage. I'll take it, though. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to go ahead and give her a little shock here just to see if it does much for us. The answer is no, it does not. Yeah, we're going to have trouble damaging her, it seems like, because of all that armor. Headshot's doing a little bit more damage here, but primarily we're just going to use our wall. She's not going to really charge through it, it seems like, so we're going to be able to take advantage of it to a pretty good degree here. And it's just a matter of whittling her down. Oh, this is going fine now, though. What the... Did you guys see that? It looked like she was, like, down and running at us at the same time. Alright. Alright, Valkyr, come on. Oh, she's immune now. Okay, when she's damage immune, we don't really need to waste ammo on her. We're just gonna wait. She is not damage immune anymore, so now we can go in on her. And I feel like maybe we need to just go melee here with her. Oh wow, that damage boost from her is actually a really powerful tool for us, so staying close enough to her to get that damage boost is seemingly benefiting us quite a bit here. Our wall went back down, though. Okay, wall up. Oh, we're out of energy. Alright, so without energy... Oh, there we go, there's another wall. Unfortunately, we put it down in the wrong place, so I'm gonna move it. I did not want the Broncos here. Here, Valkyr, Valkyr, let me keep shooting you. So we're just going to continue to kind of unload on her with our bolter. We've got her to about 25-30% right now, but she's still tough to bring down, and she's consistently moving, so I can't just rain in fire on her. Oh, that was some kind of dash ability. I've never actually used Valkyr, so I don't know what to expect from her. So we do have a damage boost being provided by her. Kind of trying to pop her with our Bronco here a little bit. The Bronco, absolutely my favorite weapon in the game, because it does so much damage, and it's so useful, and I'm not being sarcastic at all. Basically, all we can do here is kind of take our pot shots and try to stay alive. If we close with her into melee, it's really not a good opportunity for us, I feel like. But our energy is charging back up. Gonna try meleeing there for a little bit, just to see what we can do. Not really getting much value out of it. If we had some way to strip armor, this would be better. Oh, she's immune. Okay, time to go. Time to go. Damage immune is a no-go for me. We're gonna keep moving. The other advantage to pulling our melee weapon out, though, is that she can't ranged attack us when our melee weapon is out. We'll just deflect the shots. Okay. Why is she damage immune all of a sudden? I guess she's parrying there? Tried power attacking there, didn't really get anything for it. Going into melee here hasn't been helping us too much at all, but we don't really have any range damage to speak of, so tough shots here. As long as she's parrying, we don't seem to hit her. So we can do a sliding attack like that, get some damage in. Alright. Watching my health here a little bit, just to make sure I'm not getting wrecked. Because it's very easy to lose track of your health when you're in melee like that and get taken down. Where did she go? Okay. Did she, like, fall through the floor so we just won? I'm not gonna complain about it. I'll show you guys when we get out of here what you should bring against her on this junction. I didn't realize she was gonna have heavy armor, and that means we should have probably decked out our weapons a little bit differently. Boom, there we go. We have unlocked Jupiter now. Jupiter actually has one of the best defense missions in the game. There's a defense mission there that will allow you to basically collect Meso relics very, very quickly. So that's something that we'll probably take a look at in the future. It's also just a great one to run if you're sort of doing something else and you don't want to be super, super focused. You can kind of run it passively with the right frames. Certain frames do that better than others, of course. Okay, cutting edge, enhanced durability, Rubido Line Barrel. This is actually the base damage mod for Arcwing, so very nice to get. Amphis Blueprint, and then 7,500 credits. Beautiful. So we're going to switch over to public here for the moment. And we're going to show you, or I'm going to show you the survival mission that's going to help you make your money. Down here in Series Gabby is an infestation survival. If you can last 5 minutes in this mission, I probably should have switched over to RHINO. Actually, if we don't have people in our group, I'll probably abandon and switch to RHINO. Oh, we do. We do. Okay, then I'll just stay. Anyways, if you can make it 5 minutes on this map, you get 24,000 credits, roughly. That varies slightly depending on what you pick up in the mission, but it's about 24,000 credits. So early on, you run this 4 times, it takes you about 20 minutes, and you make 100k credits. Very, very nice way to build your credits up quickly. I'm only going to do 1 run here just because I want to show you guys how easy this really is. You'll want to bring leveling weapons to this too, because you can level up weapons while you do this. So it's a great way to get maximum efficiency out of your leveling experience. That being said, I'm already in some higher level stuff, so we're just kind of mowing through enemies here really quickly. One thing to keep in mind on survival missions is that you do want to get life support from as drops from enemies when you kill them. And if you see your life support value hit about 30%, that's when you want to come over here and start cracking these canisters. And that's how you can get the most out of your survival missions, is by waiting until about 30% life support to crack the canisters that spawn on the map. If you do that, you should be able to run for pretty much as long as you want, as long as you're actually killing enemies. If you're struggling to kill enemies, then it's probably time for you to evacuate the survival mission. I don't know why they waypoint 1 there because of a Detonite Ampule. That's a nice pickup right now. Detonite Ampules, along with some of the other, like, more difficult to find resources, are very, very premium early on in the game. They'll become less premium as you go, but for right now, you want to make sure you snag all of those that you can get. All of those, all of your Neurodes, everything like that. Mark Orokin Cell, please. Gotcha, bud. So our teammate is here looking for Orokin Cells as well, so if we see one of those, they would like us to mark it so that they can get it for sure, and we will do that. If we can find any. Will do. It's always nice to, like, have people communicate like that in chat. If you're ever looking for a specific item, you can do the same thing. Just kind of tell people in chat, hey, I'm here for this. If you guys see it, can you mark it for me? 9 times out of 10, people will be nice. They'll go ahead and mark that object for you if they find it, and then you can make sure you get what you're there for. I find that most commonly used when you're looking for Argon Crystals in the Void, which is something you guys probably won't be doing for a hot second, but if you are at the Void, it is always good to make sure you ask. I'm going to mark that alloy drum because people might be here for some alloy. Just good practice in general. It's easier too if you mark it before you destroy it. If you destroy it and then you try to mark it, you'll basically just mark an empty space and you have to tell people what the waypoint is. It's generally more beneficial just to mark the node and then hit it. In some cases, of course, that won't happen. You can also mark mods that drop, but that's a little bit tougher because what you have to do, especially if you've already picked it up, is you have to aim at, like, the spot that it dropped, and there's a faint little line of light, and if you can get your cursor over that light and then mark it, it'll tell people what the mod is, and they can come get it. Man, I don't know what is up with my voice in the mornings. Like, guys, I'm taking allergy meds and everything, and it's just not really paying off. Okay. I guess it's just a bad allergy season. Not finding anything particularly amazing. I would honestly like to find some Orokin Cell for that guy. That's why I'm kind of buzzing around and looking at different stuff. Marking another alloy drum and taking that one out. I did just find an Orokin Cell earlier this morning when I was doing some of the prep in one of these maps. So, like, I know they spawn. I'm just Trying to help our ally out here. Doesn't look like we got one so far, though. Orkan cells are actually really easy to identify because they look like Orkan technology. They're like bright white gold. You can see them very clearly from everything else. Circuitry lockbox. Mark that in case somebody needs circuitry, and then snag it. Well, let's keep going. Maybe we get lucky and we find an Orkan cell further on in here. The worst case scenario is that we find one and we bust it on accident because we're meleeing enemies. Orkan cell just dropped right here. So you see that green line? If we mark that, there you go. Mark the Orkan cell for him. So now we found an Orkan cell for our friendo, and he can come on in here and pick it up. Marked one. Ah, come on. Marked one for you. There we go. Yep, he just went and grabbed it. See, that's it, folks. Be nice, be welcoming, and the community will return that favor. Let's go ahead and take these folks out while we move forward. We're at 95% life support, so we don't even need to really sweat over it at all. Ooh, look at all these goodies. Sinister Reach is a great pickup here. That's really, really nice for certain weapons. Oh, we just got another one. Okay. So, this was that sort of worst case scenario where we don't necessarily know exactly where it dropped. I'm trying to kill all these enemies so that I can clearly mark. Or try to find the thing to mark. Is that him? He just scooped it. He's fine. If he came through that area, he would have picked it up, so we don't really need to mark it anymore. Alright. Clearing out enemies. 2k credit cash. Nice, so that's an extra 2k, and we can head out now. One thing I do want you to be mindful of is sometimes people are confused about how extraction works on different types of missions. For a survival mission, you can extract without it pulling any of your allies out. So you're free to extract at your own convenience. Don't worry about, like, dragging somebody else out of the mission with you. In other missions, in non-endless missions in particular, I think, if you extract, it will pull out your allies too. And some people will get salty about that if they're trying to run for a particular length for something or other. In this case, though, we're just going to head for our exit because we've done our 5 minutes. In fact, there is a way to make this even more efficient where you just kind of run through the map looking for the exit, and then you just farm there until you hit 5 minutes. So now we got to wait 1 minute, and it will extract us, and after that, we're going to get our 24k. Well, it'll actually be probably closer to 26k since we picked up that 2k credits from the first reward. Lovely. So now we're just waiting. We get out of here, though, we're going to have a good bit of money, and you can do this non-stop for creds all day long. The one thing I'll also point out and recommend is when you log in and you get that notification like, hey, pick your daily login reward, that means that they've just reset the daily rewards, and your first mission will reward double credits. So if you're credit short and you get that login notification, the first thing you do is you come here and you complete one of these 5-minute missions, and instead of 24k, you'll get closer to 48 or 50. That is a great way to keep your credits up. If you do that every day when you log in, you'll keep your credits pretty healthy as you go. And it'll give you the opportunity to increase the levels of any mods or whatever that you want to raise without being too credit poor. Yeah, so see, we ended up waiting there till about 7 minutes because we didn't find the place early. If you find the place early, you can get out in, you know, roughly 6 minutes, even if you came in with other people, and then get your money. So here we ended up with... Total credit reward, please. 27k. Now, if this had been our first mission of the day after getting our daily reward, that would have been closer to 54k. Very, very nice, very fast, very efficient. I'm no longer dead broke. I'm still poor, but I'm not dead broke anymore. So that was a little bit of credit gathering there on Ceres. We've completed our Jupiter Junction, and now we're going to start working on the new Strange a little bit. We probably won't finish that one on this episode, but that's okay. We'll get started on it. We'll get through part of it. I'm going to switch over to RHINO, the heck, and I can show you guys the loadout that I'm running on those real quick so that you kind of have an idea what we're doing. I'll leave the Bronco on because I don't have a new secondary yet. Actually, that's something we need to work on. Let's head on over here. Check out our secondaries real quick. We do have another Bronco building, so in 10 hours that will finish, and we will be combining both of our Broncos and an Orkan cell to make the AK Bronco, which is one of the ways that we'll save ourselves on weapon slots. It'll turn the the Bronco that we've already maxed out into an AK Bronco, so we don't end up burning an additional weapon slot, but we do get to master another weapon. Now, since the Bronco is not a weapon we're super worried about keeping anyway, it works out perfectly for us. Also, once we get some neuroptics, we can build the Furai or the Kraken. Either one of those are really, really nice. Twin Gremlins are also nice, but the Kraken and the Twin Gremlins I think we'll just end up selling. I don't think they upgrade into anything. The Furai are actually pretty decent because there is a Syndicate-specific mod for them that gives them a lot of lifesteal, so you can use them as a healing weapon, so we could potentially hold on to those. Okay, so with that all set up, let's take a look real quick at our loadout. On RHINO here, we're using Steel Charge, which I couldn't max out before because I lacked the credits to do so. Now we can. That'll give us a little bit more capacity on RHINO. Bump that up. Now we should have a few more points to spend on our build. And what we'll put those into, I do not know. We have 3 additional points left. That doesn't mean we're going to get very much out of it, but we could potentially get something useful. Let's see. At 2 points, we get Thief's Wit, which would give us Loot Radar. That's actually not a terrible thing. Warm Coat isn't really great. We already have a Steel Fiber on. Undying Will would give us Bleed Out Reduction, which is only really useful in increasing the amount of time we have for somebody to pick us up. But I think that the better option here is either Enemy Sense, which will give us Enemy Radar, or Thief's Wit, which will give us Loot Radar. We don't have enough for Stretch, or I would take Stretch. I'm gonna go with Thief's Wit here. Or, actually, you know the other thing we could do? How many Intensifies do we have? Let's check that. If we have enough Intensifies, because Intensify is not upgraded, we don't actually have a Streamline. I wish we had a functional Streamline, but we only have a flawed one, sadly. So let's head on over here, and let's check out Intensify. If we have more than one, we could just up the level on that. We do not. We have a single Intensify, so we don't want to up the level on that because it means we won't be able to use it on future frames right away. So in that instance, I guess we will just go ahead and take the flawed Thieves... Or it's not even flawed, it's just a regular Thieves Wit. That's fine. That'll help us find lootables and things like that. If we take a look at our HEC here real quick, very simple right now. We've got Point Blank, we've got Tactical Pump with a couple levels into it. The main reason I did this is because the HEC is extremely powerful early on. It's got a lot of, like, stopping power, but it has a very, very low magazine size, and you have to reload it a lot, and during that reload time is when you get hurt using it. So I figure I'll throw a Tactical Pump on here. Normally I don't use this, and I wouldn't recommend it for a final build, but for leveling the weapon, it is going to increase the speed with which you can kill enemies with the shotgun, which will help you level it faster. Here on the Heat Blade, which ironically doesn't have built-in heat damage, we've just got Fever Strike, Fury, and the Iron Phoenix stance. Unfortunately, we only have the Iron Phoenix sword stance, which means we're not getting as much out of it as we could because it doesn't match the polarity of the weapon. However, we didn't have that maxed out either, so we can max that out, and that might actually give us a few more points on this as well. Beautiful. Stance mods, aura mods, keep them maxed if you can. Always going to be worth it. We get 3 additional points there, so what we could do is take off Fury here and put on something that's got a little bit more oomph to it. Yeah, this is actually pretty decent now, because we could go with something that just flat out... Point Blank is the one we really want here, because that's just going to flat out increase our damage. Oh, wait, my bad. I thought this was our shotgun. This is our melee weapon, so we don't want Point Blank. We do want Fever Strike, because I think there's a Night Wave to kill with Toxin right now. Let me double check that. Yeah, there is. Okay, so we don't want to put any other elements on, because if we do, we're going to lose that Toxin bonus, and we won't be able to get our Night Wave. So we're just looking for additional damage. We could go for additional crit, but that's not going to be super beneficial. We're going to go with Pressure Point here, and because we have so many of them, we can actually go ahead and level that up to get even more damage out of it. Now, I think we had 3 additional left, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And that should make our damage on our Heat Sword much more... There we go, that's much nicer. So we should be able to use this much more effectively. And what I'm actually going to do is, since we don't need our Broncos really, we're going to drop those. And the reason why is because if we don't bring them, then we'll get more affinity on the weapons we do bring. So if you can leave weapons behind when you're leveling weapons, you should totally go for it. Now we're going to take the new Strange mission and get going. So we need to go to Ares, Mars, and scan some Lancers and things. We do already have our kinetic traps. We already have our scanners, synthesis scanners. So we're going to be able to work through this pretty quickly here. Oh, all right. We got dropped into somebody else's mission. That's fine. Are we even going to be able to scan targets now? That's really weird that it does that when you're doing an actual quest. Because I don't think we're actually going to be able to scan our targets here. I mean, on the bright side, we can still get progress towards our Night Wave and potentially help this person through their stuff. I think we want to be scanning Arid Lancers. So I'm going to go ahead and get my synthesis scanner out. One of the advantages of having a good melee is that you can keep your synthesis scanner out along with your melee weapon. And we're going to look for Arid Lancers and see if we can scan those, even though we didn't really get in for the instance we were looking for. Oh, that was an Arid Lancer I just cut down, I think. There's one. Daily affiliation cap has been reached. So we're not getting any value out of scanning these. We're not getting any credit for the quest objective either. So basically what happened is it threw us into a mission that somebody else had already started. And we're not necessarily going to be working towards our quest objective at all. That's kind of silly. I don't know why it would do that, but okay. Okay, we're fine. Exit is right there. Definitely think we'll go in solo next time so that we can actually get our quest instance, because this was just essentially a waste of time. I mean, I guess on the bright side, we did get some kills for our Night Wave. In fact, I'm just going to take all these guys down real quick, because that'll be a lot of kills for our Night Wave. And we got some rank ups on the Heat Sword as well, so not a total waste. Not a total waste, but definitely not why we were here. So that could actually be something that would confuse you as a new player, so I'm actually kind of glad that this happened. If this happens, don't worry, it's not that your mission isn't a thing or that you did something wrong. It's just that the game is silly sometimes and has a habit of shoving you into stuff that you don't need to be in. Which is lovely. Very lovely, guys. Okay, let's head over this way to our exit. Not going to mess with any of those guys, we're just going to get out of here. Face is all itchy for some reason. Alright. Got a pistol gambit out of that, which we already had. We got some gallium. Gallium is actually nice. I'm okay picking up a few gallium. We're very limited on that right now, and it's actually very useful. We needed it to build RHINO, and it was hard to find. I think we also need it to build Vauban, but I can't say for sure. So that's not terrible. Okay, we're going to switch over to solo mode since that kind of messed us over and we didn't actually get to do our mission. The new strange. Equip synthesis scanners in your gear wheel and synthesize 3 elite Arid Lancers. Okay, hopefully this time we actually get the right spawn. Or maybe I'm mistaken, because we didn't synthesize an elite Arid Lancer, we just synthesized an Arid Lancer. And I saw the quest node on like 10 different things here, so it could just be that. Your target is the I think it's just that. Okay, so we actually need to find elite Arid Lancers. Oh, here we go. He's telling us there's one here. Okay. So we're gonna do what we did last time. We're gonna pull that out, and we'll just use our Heat Sword here to get us through the level, because that'll also help us complete our Night Wave. God, I love this sword stance, actually. This is a really cool sword stance. The forward and E attacks are always like your dash attacks. And as far as dash attacks go, that's a pretty wicked one. That big swinging swipe. I love it. I love it a lot. Let's see what our standing one is. Oh, that's cool. It's like a stab and some slashes. Very interesting. There's good range on it. It doesn't seem to be a special back attack, which is okay. Let's figure I check. Oh, look at that. It's actually showing these to us without the synthesis scanner up to make it easier for us to find it. So this is functioning as a synthesis scanner tutorial more than anything else at this point. Okay, let's put that in. Take some dudes out. Hey, where's the path set? Game, I know you were showing them to me like easy mode. Show them to me again. Let's hit this. Boop, boop. Oh, for some reason we're on the heck. I wonder if you just have to have the synthesis scanner out to see it now. Arid Heavy Gunner. Arid Lancer. Okay, we saw it over here, and now I don't see them. It's very strange. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of the... Alright, weird. I'm gonna assume that it's further up this way, just because. Generally, when they place these targets, they place them on your way through the level, so you can... there we go. There's another path, and now it's not showing it when we don't have our synthesis scanner up. So maybe that's what happened, was I was just not realizing that I was bullet jumping and aiming while I bullet jumped for the glide effect. Could be what happened. Alright, we're just going to keep following our trail here. This is silly. This is silly. It's basically just having us do synthesis target captures. I mean, I guess I get it. It is meant to kind of be your tutorial on synthesis targets. But you could also just do the well, I guess if you didn't know what you were doing, this might help. Let's be honest, the tutorial experience leaves something to be desired. Like, it didn't tell us to really... I guess the synthesis scanner tutorial with Samaras actually tells you to look out for those paths. But yeah, this is fine. This is fine. We'll get through this pretty quickly here. The other thing to keep in mind here, and this is actually more interesting in a lot of ways... Is it leading us? No. It's leading us to the reactor. The other thing you should keep in mind anyway, that's what I was going to say, is that the targets that are meant to be synthesis targets typically have a massive health pool. So if you find an enemy that you're just like beating on and they don't die, it's because they're the synthesis target. Okay, so here we actually are going to need the heck, because we're going to take these out real quick. You can see there we get 4 shots and then reload. The shots do exceptional amounts of damage. Like, we haven't really used this because we've been working on the toxin kills. But I'll show you guys. They just level things. Like, bye. Just super powerful. I mean, I guess I showed you the heck in the last episode. But it's just that reload time that's a pain. So we reduce the reload time. We make the heck a more efficient weapon in general. Unfortunately, since we need the synthesis scanner, we're going to be switching right back to our heat blade here. And now I think I've lost the trail a little bit. Nope, there we go. Through here, which means it's probably up this way. I had to guess. Yep, there we go. Oh, I thought we destroyed the reactor, but we apparently left... What did we leave? Like one node not killed? What happened? Alright, let's go take that out then. I'm not sure what we didn't hit. Oh, we missed one side. Okay, that's what it was. As I try futilely to hit it with the heat sword. Fine, game, fine. You win. I will hit it with that. You'll notice I'm not using the Arcwing Launcher. That's because you can only use the Arcwing Launcher in open world zones. So I don't think you're going to be zooming through levels super quick with it. That's not quite how that works. Okay. Looks like our synthesis target is still further... Oh, we got him. We weren't looking anywhere near him, but we got him. Hi there, friend. You just dropped this kinetic trap real quick. Got him. One kinetic trap. That's how we do it, folks. That's how we do it. So we need 2 more of those to continue on with our mission. Unfortunately, we would be getting rep with Samaras, but I'd already done my scans for today earlier this morning, so we don't actually get any right now. Sad, sad times. It might actually mean it's worth waiting to do it until you haven't already done your daily cap. But in this case, we're really just trying to progress through it, and I'll be doing plenty of scans for Samaras in the future. Speaking of scans for Samaras, I don't know why I went back to stab that guy. Actually, I do. I went back because I thought those were Morphics on the ground, but they weren't. They were just, like, setting. Anyways. So, with Samaras, the first 2 upgrades you want to buy when you get rep with him is you want to buy the thing that recharges your synthesis scanner for free, the Soul Battery. The next one you want to get is the one that gives you the potential to get 2 scans for the price of 1. And the reason why is because later on you're going to get quests where you need to scan flowers and things in order to build these potions. It's a little weird in Ninja Space Time, guys. But anyways, getting that so that you get 2 for every scan is going to make that faster. It's also going to make it faster for you to acquire a cat pet, the Kavats. And one of the Kavats will actually give you a doubled drop rate, and there's a chance to actually have it quadruple your drop rate. So those are very, very good for your progress through the game. We'll be working on that a little bit later, and having double the scans makes that a lot easier to obtain. Okay, so now we can basically pick any mission on Mars, because they all have the potential to spawn that guy. So we don't want to do sabotage, we want to do capture. Capture's very quick. We should be able to get through this synthesis scanning part of this main quest right here, and that'll get us on towards Nata, which is the next quest. After Natal, we get into a quest that is spoilerific and will potentially spoil the biggest surprise in the game. So I'm not sure if I'm going to cover that one in detail or not. I kind of feel like you need to, because it does introduce a lot of new concepts into the game that, as a new player, might be confusing or you might not see the value of right away. So I'll leave that up to you guys. You guys let me know if you want me to keep going even though we're approaching Spoiler Town. Oh, that was bad. I should have shot that. When we went through that door, we lost all of our energy because it had a scanner. That being said, I'm also not super worried about it, because our goal here is just to get to this capture target. And after we get to the capture target, I will worry about finding the synthesis target. Hi there. You're mine. So that was fast. Now all we need to do is find our synthesis target. It's very rare that the synthesis target is going to be before your capture target in these. So now I'm going to pull this out, and I'm just going to be looking for some kind of trail. Not seeing a trail here. That is very unfortunate. I don't remember if Samaras said that there was a capture target here or not, but I'm sure that he did. So, going into dead ends now, looking for the thing. Perhaps I got overzealous and should have waited a moment, because it looks like we may have actually passed the capture target. Although, honestly, if I don't see a trail here pretty quickly, I'm probably just going to head towards the exit and see what shakes out. Yeah, it's very weird to not see any... Oh, nope. Not this time, buddy. Yeah, those are sensor bars. You definitely want to take those out, as they will drain all of your energy if you walk through them. Okay, so if there were a path, we would have probably seen it by... Oh, wait, there we go. Okay, so maybe I should have looked for the start of the path first. I swear, if it's visible now... Alright, so yeah, we do need to look for the start of the path at the beginning of the mission, or I guess it just doesn't make them visible, because we looked down this path right here, we didn't see it. Okay, continuing on. Where'd it go? There we go. Very weird. Alright, so if we don't actually reveal it, it doesn't necessarily show up. That doesn't mean we wouldn't have been able to see the synthesis target, though. Like, we could have honestly just ran room to room looking for synthesis targets. And now, I don't know where the path goes, because it, like... here we go. Love when it goes, like, all around like this. So down this way, I see it. It does go towards the exit, though, you see that? So if we had just kept going towards the exit and pulling our scanner out as we went, we probably would have found it anyway. Yeah, there's the next trail. Not seeing it in here. But we do see the trail heading towards the exit. So every room, I'm just going to kind of pull this out and take a look around. Because if we can do that while we head towards the exit and find that to be relatively efficient, that's going to be better than, like, stopping to check the trail every half a second. There we go. Beautiful. Hi, friend. Get kinetic trapped. And we got him. We got him and we're out. We only need one more of these to move on to the next stage of this mission. And we are on our way to the exit now. No reason to stop and fight any of these guys. I mean, we could if we were trying to finish our toxin thing super bad, but I don't think that's a priority at the moment. Alright, there we go. Straight through. We got a health restore large out of that. Not a bad thing to put on our gear wheel. I don't actually use the consumables that much, but they are very, very helpful if you're having trouble with stuff. So if you're ever having trouble with a mission and you just need that extra oomph, try adding some of the consumables you've gathered throughout the game to your wheel and taking advantage of those. I'm actually just going to repeat this mission. We really just need to find one more of those guys and we should be set. And that'll get us through the first part of the new Strange. And then we will move on to the next part on our next episode. The next part, we're actually going to meet one of the cooler frames in the game, at least from a design standpoint, in my opinion, which is Chroma. So I hope you guys are excited for that, because I know I am. Chroma is pretty... His design for the base Chroma is pretty interesting. I actually much prefer the design they did for his Prime, but at the same time, it is a very, very interesting design overall. So I'm going to pull our scanner out just to make sure we get the trail initially, and then I think after that we should be able to just zoom and still see it later. Oh my god, I made the same mistake by going through that, didn't I? So let's see if we pull this out now, if we're going to get our trail. Yeah, we do. I think you just need to identify the beginning of the trail to make the trails appear. And after that, we can just kind of push through. Hey, come here. Nope, you can go invisible. It ain't gonna help. I'm gonna slash you up anyway. Mine. Captured, just like that. Get wrecked, Hayeka. Okay, so now we just pull this out, keep an eye on where we're going. Oh, they changed the mission on us. Now it's elimination. Okay, so now we actually have a reason to kill stuff, though, so that's a plus. We're gonna follow our trail and kill stuff as we go. I mean, honestly, if you want to be thorough, you can scan these too. You'll need them later for a mission with, well, to unlock a new frame called Titania that's actually super strong, so not a bad frame to work towards. Alright, now we need to kill 50 enemies, and we've identified our target already. Hello, friend. Oh, that's wrong. I pulled out the mining laser. That's not gonna help here. Okay. I was trying to turn on Iron Skin before I went for this, just so that nobody could knock me down while I was scanning him, but that turned out to not be the best plan. Still got him in one kinetic, which is nice, because that just saves us on the siphons. I see your hunt was a successful one. Yes, it was. So we got all 3 of the Arid Lancers, which will allow us to progress the story, and now we just need to get a lot more kills. Okay. Well, that shouldn't be tough. Enemies do continue to spawn, so all we gotta do is work our way through them. And in doing so, we'll also finish our toxin damage for Nightwave, so that's just a nice overall synergy there. And really, when you're doing anything in Warframe, the number one goal, in my opinion, is to try to synergize everything you can. Like, get as much out of the activities you're doing as you can. At least that's what I enjoy about the game, is being able to overlap like 4 or 5 things and being like, yeah, check this out. I don't know why I'm so itchy this morning. What's going on with me? Maybe what is it? The allergy meds I took were expired or something. I don't know, man. There we go. You're dead. Let's keep moving. And I really like that dashing stab, though. It's such a nice attack for covering range. Oh! I jumped out of reality right there, guys. Out of reality. Straight through the floor. Ooh, Morphix there. Nice pickup. Hello there. Just give you a little slashy slash. Alright, RHINO is gaining some ranks as well, so all in all, this is a very nice mission for us. I honestly don't need to kill everyone with this, but as soon as we hit 100 toxin, I'll switch over to the Heck. The main reason I'm doing this is just to get that toxin done, because as we know, unlocking new stuff from Nightwave is extremely beneficial for a new player. And this account could actually use quite a bit from Nightwave. In fact, I was eyeballing this augment mod on there today. Oh, there we go. So they've recently made a lot of the old PvP augment mods available through Nightwave, which is, I think, a really good move because not a lot of people play PvP in this game. So one of the mods that's available is a new one for Volt that makes it so that if an ally walks through Volt's shield, they get 35% of their shields back. And it's like 40 Nightwave credits, which isn't cheap, mind you. For just like a little bit more than that, you can get a reactor which doubles the capacity of a frame, which is one of the main things you'll want to buy with your Nightwave creds. So I'm like, not sure if I want it, but it does seem like a really, really good augment at the same time because the primary use of that shield is to support your allies by increasing the team's damage. So if you can increase the team's damage and give them back shields, that seems like a really, really nice synergy to me. So I'm like caught in the middle. The only reason I don't know that I want that augment though, and this is just sort of something that you guys can... This is like me explaining mod logic to you, right? So if we put that augment mod on, we're dedicating capacity and a mod slot to making it so that we get a little bit of shield back every... well, not a little bit, a third of our shield back every time we walk through our shield. But the catch to that is in order for that to be effective, you're going to want to put on a mod like Redirection that increases your shield by a bunch. So now you're dedicating 2 mod slots and quite a bit of capacity just to making that beneficial for yourself. Now, if you were just going to bring it on a buffing build for team play, I could see it being more useful for that. But if you're bringing it just for yourself in solo play, then you're basically dedicating 2 mod slots and a large amount of capacity to making that mod useful. Now, there are some mods that help you get around that, like there's a rare mod that comes from Nightmare Missions called Vigor, which, if you get it, will allow you to get both an additional 120% shields and 120% health in the same mod slot. So that would make it maybe a little bit more beneficial. But at the same time, you're still in that situation where would you have even used Vigor necessarily if you didn't have that mod? Or that augment. So that's kind of the logic that goes into it, is like, well, is it worth the slot? Is it worth the credits, frankly? And I'm still in the middle, I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I would love to know what your opinion is on whether it's worth it to pick up that augment or not. I do think it's really great for team play stuff, because it is something that will benefit your entire team. It's a multiplicative effect. But if you're using it solo, it seems useless to me. Well, not useless. It seems very expensive to me if you're using it solo. Unfortunately, though, that is going to be all the time we have for today. Before we sign off, though, I do want to check real quick where we're at with the new Strange. We have to return to Cephalon Samaris. We'll do that on the next episode, though, when we continue and finish the new Strange quest. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!